Hi, Julian. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you indeed. Julian, I'm going to start off by asking you, playing out in France, managing out in France, coming up against the likes of Lyon, Monaco, Paris Saint-Germain, now going to the Championship where it's frenetic, the pace is sort of up and down. What sort of differences do you think there is between the two leagues, in terms of preparing you for what life will be like as a manager in the Championship?
I think there are a lot of differences, but I need to adapt my management on the the how we can deal with the championship. I think in championship you have a lot of up and downs for all the teams, and we need to be prepared for a marathon. In fact, because it's 46 games a minimum per season. It's very very long, 18 or 17 or 18 times 3 weeks, 3 games per week. Sorry, so you have some up and downs, and you need to be emotional ready to deal with that. This is the most important thing for me. And yes, when you are in a good moment emotionally, you have to stay, like this. And if you are in in a bad moment, it's the same thing. So for me, this is a big challenge, and we need to deal with our emotions. And probably, um, yeah, the game is different, more intensity in championship, probably more transition also, and higher tempo on the game. So yes, it will be different, but it will be honestly would be a great experience for everybody, and especially for me, of course.
And Julian, you mentioned that about the rigorous schedule of the championship, where especially around Christmas time, you could be going Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. It's frenetic sort of pace and scheduling of fixtures. And what we find in the championship is the squads with the most depth, come the end of the season, that have the most resources are up the top in terms of player numbers. In terms of your squad at QPR, are you happy with the squad depth to compete in a rigorous long championship season, or you still think that you maybe, how many players do you feel, Julian, you need to work with? 23, 22?
Yes, I think 22, 23 is a good number, because I had some different experiences in the past also with European competition. And it's not the same thing, but you can compare. When you play, for example, 10 or 20, 12 games in the European competition, it's not 17 or 18 like in championship. But okay, we had some experiences, and when we decide one time to have a big numbers of players, it was not a good experience. So I think 22, 23, it's enough for the championship. Of course, it depends also on injuries, and if you have a long injuries, you can struggle a little bit. But this is our job, our role also to manage the players during the week, the loads, and to be very clear with the loads during the week. And yeah, so to answer the question, probably 22, 23, it's a good number.
Mm. And people will look at QPR and they will say there's an awful lot of flair there, an awful lot of talented players, creative players, maybe behind the main striker, out wide in the wingers, maybe players that can play that sort of 10 role. But an out and out striker, a target man for QPR, a guy that maybe you could put your bag house in him for maybe 10 or 12 goals a season, has been a struggle. QPR in the last few years have shared the load. They shared the load out between them in terms of goals. How important is it, or how hard it is to find a player in the market, maybe a goal scorer at that level that can get you maybe into double figures? Because it puts an awful lot of pressure on your wide players and your players in the pockets to come up with goals if you don't have an out and out striker that's hitting double figures.
I think we have strikers. We have Michi Frey, we have Sela, we have Burrell, we have Coley able to play like a number nine. So we have players able to play like a number nine. And for me, it's a collective responsibility to score some goals. And I'm sure we have enough talented players to score. And I'm really confident that we will score some goals this year, to be honest. So after that, it's always a question of which player are available or not. And yeah, we didn't have a striker the last two or three friendly games, but tomorrow we will have some players available to play like a number 9. So yes, we have the players in the squad. We have the players. We have Michi Frey. We have Salah. We have Burrell. We have Coley. We have Cher. They are all able to score some goals. Dembele, Poku, and other players also. So we will score some goals this season. No
Yeah.
problem.
Good to note. And Julien, just on Poco, the addition, obviously much vaunted all across Europe. Many big clubs wanted him. Is that showing the state of ambition for Queen's Park Rangers that you're able to entice a player of that pedigree to your club, a player that was in demand and maybe could have been competing for titles in other leagues nearby as well, but opted to join Queen's Park Rangers?
Yes, I think it's honestly, I think it's a good choice for Kwame to come to QPR because he knows the project of the club. He knows he will be in a place where everybody wants to help him to grow up, and it's a step also for him because he played in League One the last seasons. Now he has to play in championship, so it's a good step also for the development of the player and a good step for the improvement to show that he is able to improve. So yes, we're happy to work with Kwame since 4 or 5 weeks since he arrived, and I'm sure he had the potential to develop some great things this season.
Second last question from me, Julian. Just looking at the championship as a whole, how do you sort of view it in terms of the quality? Obviously, people will look at Ipswich coming down with their massive resources, with the Premier League sort of windfall, maybe keeping most of their squad intact as well. Are they possibly a cut above the rest? But do you see it an open league beyond that?
We will see, I think after 6, 7, or 8 games, it will be more clear for everybody and how the team are on the table and yes, which team are able to play the height of the table. Of course, the team who were relegated last season, like Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton, they will be on the top of the table. But I think some teams also like Coventry, for example, Middlesbrough, perhaps. They have a very good team, very good players with a lot of experience. So let's see. We need to focus on the QPR for us now, just to focus on us and try to win the first game and to take confidence and even if we didn't succeed to win the first game, just to stay emotionally good and try and trust on ourselves every time. This is a challenge in championship. It's so long, so many games to play. So yes, just focus on tomorrow and let's see after how the evolution of the ranking of the table.
And my final question on tomorrow, on your opponents, Preston North End, a sort of seasoned championship team, a seasoned sort of outfit, a seasoned championship manager as well, Paul Heckenbottom, who knows the division inside out, who's got promoted from this division as well. So they have a very sort of consistent team, a very sort of consistent project. They know what they're about, Preston North End. They take no shame from that. They know exactly what their identity about it. What sort of a challenge do you think it's going to face for you for your opening game? Do you think it's a good test?
Yeah, it's a good test, and just like I said just before, a lot of respect because they had a lot of qualities. But to be honest, with all the respect that I have for Preston, I just want to speak about QPA and the players and to be ready for tomorrow. We know that this is a good team with a very good manager, a lot of experience. We know that they have a lot of strength in the team. We know that, and the players know that. But they need to know also, and how players need to know that we believe in us, that we trust in ourselves, and that we are able to do a good performance. This is the most important thing for me. Thank you.